Hey everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker. Today, what I want to talk to you about is what do you get when you purchase your home? Whether it's a condo, whether it's a house, what do you actually get with the property? If we look at the purchase and sale agreement on the second page of it, there's a lot of blank spaces. The first one there is what chattels and fixtures are actually included with the house. What is excluded is the second section, and the third section is what are the rental items. I'm going to give you a brief description of all three. The easiest way I can tell you guys about chattels and fixtures and what is included with the property is this. It's a silly example, I've heard it way back in the day, and it just makes the most sense to me. When you're buying a house, it'll be hard to do this with a condo, but when you're buying a house, you basically just think about taking the house, taking it upside down, shaking it, and whatever actually stays with the house remains with the house. So whatever's sticking to the house stays with the house. Let me give you an example. The picture. So if you have a picture that's hung on by a nail, that picture is going to fall down. The picture is yours, the nail is theirs. If we look at something like a TV wall mount, so a TV wall mount is actually physically attached to the property. The TV isn't. The TV is attached to the wall mount. The wall mount technically is attached to the property and remains with the property. These are just kind of differences of these items. Really, in that chattels and fixtures section, what we put down is all the stuff that is going to remain with the property that's not probably affixed to it. We end up adding some stuff that is just for a clarification sake. So typically in chattels and fixtures in that section, we put in like the kitchen appliances are going to be included, the washer and dryer is going to be included, the existing light fixtures are going to be included, the window coverings are going to be included. I go a little bit further and just clarify, like the furnace is going to be included. Of course, the furnace is going to be included, but I just want to make sure that they know that it's included in the purchase price and it's not a rental item. We'll touch on rental items in a minute. But these are typically the things that we put in. Even like garden sheds is stuff that I actually include in the offer that is actually going to be included in the property because they're not physically attached, right? If we can remove it right away. The next section of this is what the exclusions are. So now, if you want to keep your TV wall mount, or sometimes people have like things about lighting fixtures, if it's in a kid's bedroom and it was their first lighting fixture and they chose it out and whatever it is, they want to keep these kind of things, or they have a fancy chandelier in the dining room and they want to keep it. We can actually put in our listing when we're listing properties that these items are excluded, and it actually goes into the purchase and sale agreement in that second section over there of what items are actually excluded. If you have a crazy TV wall mount and you want to keep it, we can include it in there that says it's excluded. Sometimes people exclude like washer and dryer, or you can exclude your lighting fixture. So all of the stuff that's actually excluded needs to be in there. There's one thing that's come up recently with all the new technology that's coming out. So like Ring doorbells or like video doorbells and like Nest thermostats and these type of items. A lot of people feel like these are personal items, so they're going to take it with them. But it's not technically correct. If that item is, like I said, physically attached to the property, it remains with the property. Example is that if you have a Ring doorbell, like I have one, and it's actually screwed into the house, well, that's gonna actually remain with the property. If you have a different type of doorbell or a thermostat or something that sits on a bracket, then you can actually remove that, and that's fine. But the bracket technically has to stay with the property. It is a little bit technical, so what I advise anyone to do in this section over here is that if they are going to exclude it, you got to put that in the exclusion section. So I would specifically call out the front doorbell, the Ring doorbell is not excluded, the Nest thermostat is not excluded, and sometimes people don't want to include their window coverings. Sometimes when we have property staged, the window coverings actually belong to the staging company. So we have to be aware of that and actually exclude the window coverings in there as well. This way, there is no confusion. Everyone has to sign off on it. The third section over there is rental items. If there are any rental items, they need to be included in there. For example, a lot of homes have rental hot water tanks, something I really don't agree with, but I have one too. I actually have two. You know, I don't agree with this, but there are rental items and we have to state in the agreement that it is a rental item. I like to go a step further when I'm buying a property for my client. I like to try to put in how much is this rental item. You know, these tanks can range from $20 to $50. I've seen some crazy ones that are $70. You want to be aware, like this could make a difference to your budget if you're buying a property. The rental item has to be included in there. Hot water tank typically are, and if it is, it must be included in there. I've run across a situation before where it wasn't included in the agreement and the buyer basically wants to come back and say, hey, you know, we're not going to assume this rental contract. You have to buy it out because it wasn't in this rental, like it's not in this rental section. And they're completely right in doing something like that. You know, whether they win or they don't win, that's a different story. I've had a personal occurrence that has happened to me with one of my investment properties where it wasn't included. I make these mistakes too, but it was my personal rental property. I have a very good lawyer, went back and explained that how these components are part of the house and whatnot, and it was basically, you know, everything was fine. They had to assume the unit itself. These are the things that we have to be careful about, and we have to be very, very, very specific. So you got to really think about it. So when you are selling a property, you really have to think about, you know, what is attached to the property, what's going to remain with the property. And I'd even say something further. If you have something, even as an example of like a big wardrobe in your bedroom, and you know that's not attached to the property, maybe you have a small bracket holding it up just so it doesn't tip, I would actually go into the agreement and exclude that from the purchase so everybody's on the same page. All right, guys, so that's just a quick recap of page 2 of the purchase and sale agreement for the UREA document. If you guys have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to me, DM me, email me, call me, text me, whatever you guys like. I'll try my best to answer any of the questions that you guys have. If I don't have the answer, I'll try to look them up for you. All right, until then, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Remember one thing, get Cabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.